Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Shadows of Forbidden Gods. So this is a game that totally flew past me. Apparently it went into 1.0 release last week. I was never aware of it in early access, but once I had it on my radar, I knew I had to cover it. So I've just picked it up, and I've played through the tutorial and familiarized myself with the game a little bit. You know, I don't want to take the sort of discovery totally out of it, but I get an idea of how this game works. So, if you're here because you're enjoying things like Terra Invicta and sort of, you know, large-scale strategy, you're probably going to enjoy this. The idea is that you play, you know, it gives me some Lord of the Rings vibes, but from the perspective of Sauron, right? You're a dark god of some incorporeal description, right? And you use your influence over the world with very limited powers, but mostly through agents of chaos that you try and get to move around and infiltrate into this essentially 4X giant simulated world that tends towards stability, and you're trying to pick at it and influence it to serve essentially unlocking your god, right? I won't go through the whole tutorial again, but it was quite helpful and informative. We'll start from the beginning. Now, I believe, look at this, there's a whole bunch of really interesting gods that I'm not allowed to play as. And they all look wonderful, but I can play as this one. And this was the tutorial one where the idea is that you're trying to spread shadow throughout the world in a way, right? This pervasive, intangible shadow just emanating and seeping into society and then corrupting the leaders, and generally speaking, you want to destabilize nations, try and send them to war from whispering in the ear of rulers, or even going more directly, starting wars with like more warlike characters. At the same time, the world is going to be generating these heroes, a chosen one, who at the very beginning is very much like, hey, there's a bad guy, and no one believes them, but they're slowly building power, and the world begins to become more aware of you and try and set itself against you. It's very cool, you know, not even anti-hero. It's very cool, like playing as a bad guy, and I think it could be a brilliant game. So that's why we're going to try it out on the channel, have a bit of a play, and if you guys enjoy it, make sure you let me know, and we'll keep it going. So there's the setup, and I guess let's get into it. So she who will feast, that's me. Hey all, that's me. I bet you're wondering why I look like a giant snake. She who will feast is a godworm, a terrible creature from the black of the void between stars, who has lain dormant for millions of years until the stars are ripe for her hatching. Oh wow, that's a bit Cthulhu-y. A time will come when she will devour the world and journey forth to lay her brood, dooming other worlds to be consumed by her offspring. Ooh, that's kind of cool. This elder god provides a range of powers which will support many different gameplay styles. She is a good starting point as her powers allow exploration of all types of strategy by disabling heroes and providing additional temporary agents to support your plans. When her last seal breaks, and that's probably worth mentioning, I believe the seals breaking is kind of a doom timer forced progress through the game. And if you know anything cursory about any religion, you know, the whole idea of breaking of seals and prophecy and all that, it's very much entrenched in religious concepts, which is cool because, you know, this is kind of religion manifest in this game, albeit from a dark perspective. So as your seals, I think they're just time limited. So your seal will break, and that in turn increases your mana pool and gives you more powerful Gucci spells. But at the same time, I believe the rest of the world starts to ramp up on that scale as well. So if you're kind of dropping the ball, getting your influence going and sort of working towards a win condition, as the seals break, you might get outpaced and the enemies will start. I believe they can form like a super pact alliance to combat you. So at a certain point, they'll start taking you very seriously. So you have to keep pace with that. Anyway, so that's what I know. And I don't know much. I'm going in quite fresh. When her last seal breaks and she who will feast emerges into the world, she will exist on the world map as a controllable military unit. Oh, that's cool. So I actually become corporeal, right? If she dies, you will lose, but she will rapidly grow into a powerful military asset by herself. Her birth will destroy nearby settlements and devastate the local terrain. Right, so I guess the problem, the danger would be having the seal break and hatching and having a billion armies standing there outside bloody Mount Doom going, hey, what's up, buddy? And then killing me. So we want to avoid that. The god you can choose will determine how the game is played. Each god has a separate set of powers, which leads to specialization in different strategies and a different form of apocalypse. There are many myths, religions, stories, and legends as to the great evils which existed long before humans built their first cities and tamed the wilds. Most are false. Unfortunately, one is true. One of these forbidden gods is fated to return. All right, let's pull the trigger. Oh my god, okay, a bit of reading, but we're getting used to walls of text, and to be honest, if you're here and part of the channel, hello, if you're new, by the way, welcome, but you're probably used to listening to my dulcet tones reading all this interesting lore. She Who Will Feast is designed to be simpler than others, ideal for either new players or for games focusing on the agents themselves, as opposed to a god's unique mechanics. Okay, sure. Powers. The powers of She Who Will Feast focus on the spread of shadow, which is one of the baseline strategies in the game. She allows infiltration of locations to grant your agents faster access to cities and witches' covens, enabling, and again, I don't know how that works, enabling faster and easier spread of shadow, which I do understand that a bit, which then unlocks powers available in the enshadowed regions to harm the heroes who venture within. Awakening. When she emerges from her birth tomb as a vast godworm, a serpent the size of a village, and this is so cool, and continues to grow as the turns pass. While in this state, she will fight as an army which able to devour entire cities. I get what they're saying. Typo, translation, who knows. If humanity's armies can kill her, they win, so she must be careful to avoid the strongest bastions. Minor kingdoms or those already weakened by plague, war, or famine will easily fall to her assault. Basic strategy. A core strategy of this god is to take control of certain centrally placed cities by first infiltrating them and enshadowing them. After this, spreading shadow via wells of shadow, which is an ability, I know what that is, lets you spread across the entire continent. The most powerful of these nations can be turned into a dark empire by the monarch agent, okay, sure, who can then command her forces to invade other shadowed nations to form a powerful fighting force. Okay, cool. I think we're good. A bit of reading, a bit of front loading. Sorry, not sorry. I'm going to press random world seed, so that's cool, and then we'll go on normal difficulty, and then let's just pull the trigger, all right? Hints. You can select an agent and move them around. You can select a challenge. Yeah, your agents essentially do challenges in cities. New agents can be recruited through the god power, and then you can press shift and control. The controls are a little fiddly, but I've gotten used to them a bit already. Okay. Shadows of Forbidden Gods is a game about infiltration and secret plans. Your agents serve your god and are primary tools for weakening and undermining the human societies. Your god will wake slowly, and as it does, it will unlock more powers to use, be able to recruit more agents, or gain power faster. While it wakes, your agents will be undermining human societies and strengthening their enemies, such as the orcs. The heroes will oppose your agents and try to fix the damage that they are doing, or even kill your agents if your agents become too obvious. Okay, cool. So, there's a lot going on. Don't be overwhelmed, because there's not really a lot going on. Oh, look at this. There's orcs down here. Like, it's kind of cluttery. I would urge you to try and see the clutter as almost design direction, right? I'm not trying to carry water for the game, but it's not that complicated. At least, well, he says, having played 30 minutes of it. So this is my dude, the supplicant, that I start with. And he's pretty good at intrigue, right? And we've started at this Elder Tomb, which I don't think we can really do anything here other than caching. Now right next to us, we've got, it looks like this is a territory here by the look of it. Oh, it's got a bit of an Asian bent to it. You can even see with the structures and the names. City of Taichar, the Hopi Convent. Well, hang on, let's click on this. Oh, okay, sure, if you're going to put this up. Infiltration is a core element of gameplay and a good place to start your work, as it enables many challenges which can prove useful throughout the course of the game. It represents your cultists embedded in human society, working their way into all levels, from the servants to the guards to the advisors. It can be seen on the location information or by dark tendrils reaching into infiltrated locations' map icons. Infiltrating takes longer the higher the security of a location is, right? This is big. Decrease security first by causing unrest or by infiltrating surrounding locations. Unrest can be caused by a number of means, one of which is causing famine. Yeah, so they're the things I know about. Using famine to drop unrest, cause unrest and drop security. Anyway, so if we click on City of Taicha, you can see here, this is the thing we're worried about, I think. Security. Right? Infiltrate is at plus 100, which isn't great, right? That's actually pretty bad. And the ruler has a high intrigue stat. So that might not be a great place to sort of poke. Oh my God, well, look at this thing. Security 7. What about, look, I don't know what the best way to do this is, but I'm just sort of having a look at some of these nations' capitals. And honestly, we might be better off with this one because it's 4. That one's 7 as well. Oh my goodness gracious. 1. The Queendom of Zhaoyan. Right. So, okay. So what we would potentially want to do, I mean, there's villages there. We could probably give this a bit of a burl, right? It's got security 1, plus 1 base. Even though this is just a convent. We've got orcs down there as well we could probably interfere with. So I might pop my head in there first. So I'm going to grab my dude and I'm going to tell him to travel there. Oh, which he could go straight there, which is cool. And now you can see the challenges that we can do, all right? And there are different parts of the city that we can infiltrate. So again, to bring the city back up, you can see Holy Site and Catacombs. All death generated in neighbouring locations will be absorbed into these vast underground tombs for use by mages. That's really cool. Think about that. So, you know, this is where we bury everyone, essentially, right? So if you have a necromancer, it's a pretty cool place to hang out. Holy Site are fortresses against the shadow. They grant a set of quests to the heroes which allow them to more easily be defended against the spread of shadow and to cleanse themselves. Okay, so that's, I mean, it's not the best start, but it's something, right? So what we're going to do is, what could we do? Bribe guards. Reduces security by 2 for 25 turns. How much gold does my dude have? That's something I don't even understand. How do I see my inventory? Gold 0. Okay, sure. Now, brutal assassination. We can assassinate the ruler, but to what end? If we click on the ruler, you can see awareness. We haven't enshadowed him at all. He's level 0, so I guess that's kind of good. He's got a bit of money. But like, broadly speaking, doesn't like, or, you know, he's unremarkable. So I don't think there's really any reason to kill this dude. But we could influence him. Okay, so I think they both require the same sort of... Basic complexity is 50, and each point of security adds an extra 25. Right. So they're almost identical. It'd be cool if we could influence the guards. Now, raid periphery, right? Increase devastation in the location, but it uses might, and might is not my best stat. However, it's only 10 complexity. So that might not be a bad idea. Increases devastation in this location, which harms prosperity and food production. Complexity increases with location defense. If a city surrounding farms are devastated, the city may suffer from hunger. Yeah, okay. So if we were to click back on here, you can see there's 27 citizens, and it seems they have 27 food. And you can see here, I'll skim a little bit. They require food equal to the number to avoid hunger increasing. And in return, high population allows high defenses and powerful armies. So their prosperity is not 100%, which is unusual, I think. But interestingly, they get 47. So they've got base 12 food and 15 from habitability. So if I were to raid the periphery and mess with their food, it actually could cause problems for them. Looks like they're only getting food there. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to do it. Now click my dude, raid periphery, and you can see progress 0 out of 10, +2 per turn from my might. So it's going to take me 5 turns. Right? Sort of got the idea? Now, here's me up here. I've got 1 mana, 0 seals broken, and seal breaks in 11 turns. So it is term limited. I could get a new agent, and I have 2 recruitment points. But if I were to go to use power, cloud sensors cause a unit engaged in a task to lose up to 10 progress. So this is something you would use against enemy heroes, right? And I believe, from what I've figured out, if I click threats is probably the best thing to check it. Mediator Hing by Zinaxi is the chosen one. Where are you? Is that you? This bloke. So this bloke is my greatest threat. At the moment, he's nothing. He's a nobody, right? But he will become a problem shortly. I think is how it works. So he's over here, I'm over there. You also have statistics that affect your characters here. Profile and menace. Profile is almost like a radial thing. So the higher their profile, the further away they can be detected or sensed by heroes. And higher menace is the intensity of that detection, right? So that's how they would triage how dangerous you are. So if you have really high menace, if a hero does detect you, he will immediately go, right, this is a problem, and he will move to kill you. So you've got to balance the two. So you could actually have a really high profile but a low menace. So they could be aware of you, but they think you're nothing. You're a bit of a joke, so they might leave you be. Anyway, so the reason I mentioned that is for the clouding spell. Now, create agent. You have these unique agents, which I don't know anything about, but they're sort of special characters. And then you've got these general dudes. Now, this guy's a bit of a worm tongue, I think. I think the idea is that he sort of whispers sweet things into the ears of corrupted leaders, and then you can potentially try and start wars and civil wars with him, right? A warlock, I guess, does magic, and a warlord, I suppose, causes trouble, wars and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. Let's buy him. Enthralling a warlord, and I think you have to put him on an orc. Yeah, there you go. Let's do it. New trait for Warlord Locales. I mean, he's got high command and high might. Maybe we give him might. I don't know what that does. Right. So what can he do here? Challenges. Orcish raiding. Raids a nearby human settlement, taking 20% of the gold of the wealthiest neighbouring human ruler. Adds 2 menace to the orc horde. That sounds pretty good. Complexity 50. However, he gets 9 to it because of his stats. So that's not going to take him long at all. Oh yeah, bugger it, let's go. So he's going to cause trouble. So essentially, I've got both my heroes locked in. I end turn, select a new trait for my supplicant. Conduit. Whenever the agent completes an in-shadow challenge, gain 2 power. Oh, that's my mana? No, I don't really need that. When in a human settlement, increase shadow by 1%. That sounds great, actually. When killed in a human settlement, all points of interest become infiltrated. Now go Dying Light. Because if you click on the place, enshadowment, that's what we're trying to turn up. Okay, so end turn. And it's ticking up because he's there. But I don't believe any... Yeah, that's got 100% enshadowment because that's where I spawned. Oh, there you go. It went up a little bit more. And that went up. You know what? I think it's because of its adjacency to this. Let's test it. So, there you go. So this should have gone up to 3, maybe 2, maybe 3 next turn. It's hard to tell. I can't figure it out. The supplicant completes raid periphery. In times of danger, the people flee to the fortress cities, and the army defends their local duke or duchess, leaving the surrounding areas ripe for picking by marauding warbands, right? Warlord Loki's, which is my orc dude, completes raiding. He raided the Yinzan Bastion, taking 27 gold. It's been added to his own reserve. The orcs have gained 2 menace as a society as a result of this action. So that's interesting. Remember I was talking about menace for your character, raising his threat to the enemies. So the orcs as a people have that stat. So if the orcs cause enough trouble, all the heroes are going to actually really mobilize to deal with the orcs. That's kind of cool. Maybe I'll just keep being a frigging nightmare over here. Okay, so you can see here we've got this burning symbol because I've raided this area. Now, let's have a look here. Food, devastation, -14. So I guess that's not enough. Even though it says 27, that's weird, but there shouldn't be enough. Prosperity, right? So there's unrest. Devastation, -50%. Cannot go below 10%. Right. Okay, what are we going to do now? See, as much as I'd like to infiltrate them, the security's still a bit too much. I don't like that at all. So that's already devastated. Fuel the fire. If unrest has any reasons for increasing, as seen in the detailed view, increase unrest by 10 times the sum of these. Max 100%. Can trigger a crisis if unrest equals 300%. Now that's the thing, I couldn't find where unrest is specifically. See, -9% unrest there. Complexity 25. Bribe the guards, I can't do that. Holy charitable works. Start a reconstruction effort here, which will reduce devastation. No, I'm not doing that. Yuck. Profile 4, menace 4. I don't know if raiding the periphery is going to do it. I might fuel the fire? Question mark? And then let's go to this bloke here. Complexity 50. Profile menace 10. You know what? I'm just going to keep being a nuisance with this guy. I'm just going to keep raiding. All right, and that's the chosen run. He's not doing anything interesting. Select a new trait for the supplicant. Oh, absolutely. Intrigue? What are we doing at the moment? We are... What's the thing? Hang on. What's the thing he's doing? It's fuel the fire. Command affects it. So what if I give him more command? That'll help for the moment. Yeah. And if you zoom out, you can probably see all the other characters moving around the world causing trouble, which is pretty cool. Well, stopping trouble. I'm causing trouble. All right, Orcish Aspirant. Warlord Loki's is mostly left to his own devices in Fortress Shang by its inhabitants. But lately, a mean-looking orc has been shooting dirty looks at him, and sure enough, that one makes an attempt on his life, dropping a rock from a roof at his head and missing. Grabbed by the other orcs, that should have been the end of it. Only the cur demands a duel over an execution. A right that orcs hold sacred. Agent has 5 HP. It's performing a challenge. Grant the orc duel. I'll lose 4 HP. Your agent's might is temporarily reduced. Your agent gains 1 temporary command. Oh, okay, so it's a bit of a trade for the moment. Contrary as it seems, perhaps bowing to their laws may lend your agent a sense of strength they'd appreciate. Not his first duel. Oh, okay, right. So that's a prerequisite thing. Yeah, cool. Just execute the field. Now we'll go this. Not his first duel. There we go. While your agents perform challenges, they will encounter obstacles. Every few turns, a random event will occur. Yes, very good. Using number keys, you can access various map views. These allow you to more identify which settlements belong to which nations. Oh, okay. That's cool. Ah. I don't know what any of this... Oh, viewer infiltration. International diplomacy. Awareness. Points of interest finder. Heroes. Oh my god. Okay, there's a lot. I get it. Let's intern. Life continues. Despite the anger and dissatisfaction boiling in Halpai Convent, which is what I've been stirring up, the people continue their lives as humanity has during war and unrest throughout human history. Meeting together to blow off steam, the citizens of this place are organising a party. This could go some way towards cooling tensions here. No, we do not want that. The supplicant is performing challenge fuel the fire. Subtly disrupt the party. I'll lose 15 challenge progress, but unrest remains unchanged. This does not concern us. No. Start a fight during the party. Agent gains 3 menace, loses challenge, and unrest increases. Yes. Turn it up. Uh-oh. Hing by Jinnah's... Oh my goodness, why? Why couldn't you just give me bogan names on this seed? Hinbai is now 100% aware. This represents him being aware of your presence, nature, and true threat. He's not highly enshadowed. He'll try and act against you to defend the world. Chosen one is often the first to gain awareness, which that's what he is. And will spread it to rulers, who will spread it to heroes who rest in their cities and villages, who will then spread it still further, with motivation growing with world panic. A map view can use to track the geographic spread of awareness. Awareness is required for formation of the alliance, a collective of nations which will oppose you directly in the final conflict for the world. Aware rulers will also ward more often and fund the chosen one. Okay, so that's not good. That's not good. Where's awareness? Awareness. Alright, so nation-wise, no, not yet, but that dude's aware. He's the chosen one. His hero most inclined to attack the supplicant is Dr. Jixi Jai. Motivation is 84%. Oh, that's not very good at all. What do I do about that? Well, Fuel the Fire has 4 turns left, so maybe we just ride it out for now. Seal is broken, another seal breaks, and your god comes closer to their return. So my power increases, and I now have this. Powers unlocked. Boost the infiltration in selected location. Ooh, I like the sound of that. Okay, so let's use power. Eyes of Shadow. Here. And then infiltration's 50%. Oh, that's sweet. So it infiltrated the catacombs for free for me. Nice. Warlord Loki's completes Orcish raiding. Right, so you got some more gold. The orcs have got menace. Unruly and disorganized, the Orcish raiders are motivated by bloodlust, greed, remembered grudges, and the need for personal glory. Oh, I love them. As a military force, their poor discipline is offset by their extreme personal strength and reckless bravery. Good. Okay, so he's still going, and you're just being a nightmare, right? His profile and menace is just going up. He's got some money, which we can't really do anything with. Attack Orc Upstart. I don't know why I need to... I think he's just another orc that happens to be here, right? Recruit Goblin. Sounds pretty good to me. Let's do that. New trait. Let's get some might. Or infamous. When killed by a hero, this agent can reduce the profile and menace of all other agents with less than half its profile and menace. It also temporarily reduces world panic proportional to the agent's menace. Yeah, right. So this is sort of, you can pump a dude up as a fall guy, essentially, right? And the idea is the tutorial has explained it. Is, say we jam this dude up with influence. When they do kill him, the heroes will be kind of convinced that they've settled the main threat. And so that's why it sort of calms them down as far as being hot for my other blokes. Maybe I will give him infamous. I'm kind of trying to turn him into a beacon, maybe, I guess. Okay, cool. Supplicant completes Fuel the Fire. Unrest has increased by 40%. The demagogue stands amongst the crowd, looking down on them from the upturned barrel, and whips them into a fury, reminding them of all the injustices and all the ills that they are faced with. The force of their character and strength and of their charisma. Yeah, I get that they're doing there because the character could be, he or she. But it's always confusing when you're using pluralisms. Erodes the hope of rational debate, discussion, or reflection. Now is the time for the strongest of emotions, the most instinctive of responses. Okay, well, that's good. And he recruited a goblin. You require 2 things to summon an agent, a space in your roster and a recruitment point. Oh, I have recruitment points, but I don't have space in my roster. Sure, okay. Well, look, just to see where we're at, food is not good. From devastation... Yeah, look, their prosperity's come right down. Their defense is down to 2. Oh yeah, this place is not doing very well at all. So their security has come right down from unrest. It's as low as it's going to get. So I guess what we'll do is... Oh, I can make it a Well of Shadows already. Spread shadow to all neighbouring human settlements with lower shadow, which is what we really want, to be honest. Complexity 40. Requires location with shadow above 10%. Organized descent. Organized descent. To adds that modifier here, which decreases security and increases unrest for many turns or until the ruler changes. That's fine. We've done what we wanted to do with the descent. Funnily enough, I was trying to reduce the complexity of infiltrating. The higher location security is. Base is 50. And each point of security... Oh, right, okay. So you can't get around the fact that it's 50. That's okay. What we might do is pivot onto Well of Shadows. It's going to take so long because I guess he just doesn't have very high intrigue. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm doing it right. And then we'll go to him. Can I recruit? Now you can see here, this is his little front line. There is a combat. It's very basic, but it's like 3 rows that attack each other. So having minions is probably helpful. Let's recruit me more goblins. I'm going to recruit a little army of goblins, I reckon. Yeah, very good. And then he's moving around. He's some orc upstart. He's got 8. What's 8 hit points, maybe? Yeah. And I've got 6 hit points. Got it. Right. But he might have a retinue as well, for example. He doesn't. He's got items, which is cool. Anyway. Jeweled an orc. Oh, right. That gave me an increase. That was part of the thing. Okay, anyway. So I hope this shows this game off fairly well. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, see, these empty tiles are nothing. Makes it much less... Recruit Crow? Oh my god, there's so much going on. And I'm really, really digging it. It's going to take a little while for me to get my head around it, but I think it sort of fits in with the theme of some of the games we're covering. Anyway, like I said, let me know if you want to see some more team. We'll keep it in rotation. Otherwise, I might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.